look at some of the messages that the divine has for the collective, and just wanted to say there should not be any interruptions today. And if there is, I've definitely been filled in on the fact that there will be hell to pay. So, forgiving person or not, I decided to leave it in their hands today. Don't let anyone convince you your boundaries are the problem or are selfishness. Their need to cross your boundaries is the problem, and they are selfish to want you to do things for them that you shouldn't be doing. So, don't allow anybody to feel like it is selfish to protect your energy, that it's selfish to do the things that are healthy for you, that are good for you, the things that make you feel good. And don't let them make you feel like it's selfish to turn away from the things that do not make you feel good, that you don't want to be participating in, that you don't want to be a part of. Saying no to people is a very important part of not falling victim to peer pressure and taking your power back, not being a victim, but saying that, hey, I had the choice in that matter and I made the right choice for myself instead of making the wrong choice for myself. When you allow people to cross over your boundaries, that is a choice that you are making. And that doesn't mean that I'm blaming the victim, like some people might like to say. That's not blaming the victim. What it is telling people that they have power within themselves to come out of that victimhood mentality and consciousness. You are slowly breaking free from the past pain and the scars that have caused a lot of distortions in your life. You are starting to transform your ideas on what love is. You feel like you have been lost down some rabbit hole and trying to find your way back out, but you are breaking free, starting to see and accept the beauty in yourself and in others, forgiving the past and being truly grateful for the journey and all that has been found within. Hi, guys. There is a need to be discerning in who you are here, in who you are, and who you share your sacral sexual energies with. Don't be ashamed of that side or banish it. Don't decide never again, but don't go in seeking validation. That inner void can only be healed by the inside. If you feel rejected, look inside to see why you're feeling this way. If you need to walk away from unhealthy, one-sided situations, do that. But don't hurt yourself more by trying to do, yeah. Okay, sorry. I couldn't read the last couple words there. Anyway, so there is a need to really look inside and understand what you might be trying to gain in those situations, why you feel like you are missing something in yourself, and why you might be giving yourself away to things that are unhealthy or people that are unhealthy or situations that are unhealthy. You could definitely be dealing with some validation issues or self-worth issues, or feeling like in some way you are being rejected if you are not, or that you are rejecting others if you are not participating. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with rejecting other people. Rejection is protection, whether that is somebody rejecting you or you rejecting somebody else. And once you don't hurt anymore so much over other people rejecting you, then you can reject other people without feeling like you are hurting them so much as well, with feeling like you are protected and they are protected by this rejection. Whether it's their rejection or your rejection, it is protection. The Weeper, the Lord Regent. So yeah, feeling like in rejecting somebody else that you are hurting them is causing you to not put your boundaries up where they need to be put up with certain people. When you are allowing people to do things with you or to you, or you're doing things with them simply because you don't want to hurt them and cause them pain, because you know the pain of rejection and you know how much that hurts and how much it can sting. And so now you're trying to save this other person from that pain of rejection. You need to start working on how you see rejection. Do you see rejection as something awful and horrible and miserable and like, oh, it's the end of the world because this person did not like me the way that I liked them? I've been there, by the way. Or do you see rejection as a form of protection, something that is telling you that, hey, this person doesn't feel the same way about me as I feel about them, and that's okay. And so you can move forward. When you're feeling like rejection is something that's painful, miserable, and awful, then you try very hard not to reject others in the same way that you have been rejected, so that you are not hurting them in the same way that you have been hurt, which causes you to do things that you don't want to be doing to make other people happy, which is not good for yourself, and it is not good for them in the long run either, because then you're giving in to somebody that you really don't even want to be with or doing those things with, and it's causing issues on both sides, not just your side, but their side as well. Last quarter moon in Pisces. Talk less and feel more. So, make sure that you are checking in with your feelings. Make sure that you are understanding what you are feeling, what your intuition is telling you, and make sure that you are detaching from the feelings of others so that you can make these healthy decisions for yourself without their emotions weighing on you, because sometimes we can take those emotions of others and we can put them on our back, and that can become a giant burden for us to carry around with us, where we are making decisions based off of whether or not it's hurting others instead of whether or not it is healthy for ourselves. And in the long run, if it's not healthy for ourselves and it's hurting us, it's going to hurt them too. So regardless of whether or not we tried to avoid hurting them, we ended up hurting them more in the long run by not listening to our intuition and doing what we felt like was best for us. New moon in Gemini, think it through. So take the time and the space that you need to think things through and to make good decisions for yourself, and don't worry so much about what anybody else thinks about that. If you need the time and space to do that, it is okay to ask for it. And if people cannot respect that, then those people aren't the people that you want around you anyway. Three of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, and the Empress. Be okay standing on your own. Be okay with the heartbreak. Be okay with the sadness. Be okay with the loss. Make sure that you are allowing yourself to feel the pain. When it comes to other people rejecting you, it is okay to feel that pain. It's okay to cry it out. It's okay to be upset about it. After all, you had a lot of feelings for this situation, and this situation turned away from you. So it's okay to feel that. It's okay to acknowledge it. And actually, that is the healthiest way to go about it, is by acknowledging it, feeling it, and allowing yourself to clear that energy out. And then telling yourself that that's okay. Because guess what? I want somebody who wants me the same way that I want them. Just like the person coming at you that you may be worried about rejecting, they want somebody who wants them the same way that they want that person. They don't want somebody who doesn't want them, and you don't want somebody who doesn't want you. So standing alone and being proud of the fact that you are capable of doing that is very freeing. Being able to detach yourself from those situations is very freeing. Being able to have that confidence, that self-respect, that knowing that you have everything you need inside yourself and the universe will provide the rest, knowing that you don't need these situations or these peoples. And it's okay if these situations or people fall away, because as one door closes, another door opens, is really going to bring a lot of fertility into your life, a lot of abundance into your life, a lot of growth. You are definitely somebody who is leading the way and leading the charge for a lot of people around you. You are an example to them, so you need to show them the best example that you can. And the best example that you can show them is to be confident in themselves, to be confident in their abilities, to be able to stand strong on their own if needed, if necessary, and to be able to make healthy decisions based on what they want and what you want, instead of what other people want for you, or instead of based on the hurt or pain of others. Because it's not mean to set your healthy boundaries. It's not mean to tell people, hey, look, I'm not feeling this situation. I hope you understand that it has nothing to do with you. I'm just not feeling this situation the same way you are. It's okay to say that to somebody, and that is not mean. And yes, it does hurt. And we've all been there where somebody has said that to us, and it does hurt. But that's okay. It's okay on that end the same way as it is on this end. Reading between the lines. I'm intuitive, and my intuition allows me to hear way more than just the words my loved ones are saying. With this power to read between the lines, I see that the words "I love you" might rarely be spoken, but their sentiment lurks in phrases like "I changed your oil." Here's that article. And did you use up all the A1 sauce? So I feel like a lot of you can really see when people are feeling something very strongly for you. And instead of allowing that to fester and build up to something when it is not something that you're interested in that way, it is much better to tell people up front and be straightforward and honest with the way that you are feeling about the situation. To let them know that, hey, I'm not feeling this, and that's okay. It's okay, because you want somebody who is feeling this. So put your time, energy, and effort towards somebody who is feeling these things for you. And if you're looking for just a friendship and you're looking to be there for each other in that friendship way, no problem, because I wouldn't mind having a good friend. I've actually said this to many people myself, because that's not what I'm feeling for those people. And when you're not feeling those things for those people, there's no reason to allow those people to think that there could be something there and to hope for something more when you can feel that that's what they're doing. And there's no reason to get all upset or weird about it, because I know there's been times where all of us have dealt with people who have been a little bit obsessive or who have gotten really hurt by the situation because they got put in the friend zone. And we have been hurt by that at times. But the best way to handle it is to be honest up front, so that things don't grow into a bigger situation than they needed to be in the first place. And also to not feel guilty or ashamed like you were leading them on in some way just by being yourself. You're allowed to be yourself. You don't have to hide parts of yourself, and you don't have to dim yourself down simply because you're not feeling the same way for other people as they are for you. That doesn't mean that you change who you are, because they can't handle the fact that you are this person to everyone and not just them. Some people really have a hard time dealing with somebody who's nice, who talks to them, who notices them, who appreciates them and shows it, because there are not many people around them who have done that. And if more people were nice to people and more people showed that kindness and that love for people when it's not in a relationship sense, then more people would be okay with it. It would be a more normalized thing, instead of everybody just thinking that people are doing that simply because they want a relationship with somebody. And technically, I mean, how good is a friendship if the only thing that they were wanting from it is a relationship? If it ruins the friendship to tell somebody that, hey, I'm not feeling relationship vibes for you, then it wasn't a good friendship built on a solid foundation to begin with. And that person was only looking for that. They only cared about you in that sense. And if they didn't care about you as a friend in the first place, then they shouldn't be starting a relationship with you either. And sometimes people do just need space so that they can heal their heart, and so that you can continue being friends. Make sure that you know the difference in those situations and that you don't overreact in them. So that is what I have for that portion of the message. And let's see what else Spirit wants to talk about with you guys today. Own who you are. And if you guys enjoy this poem, you can find my poems at D's StoryTime. The link is in the description box below. There are so many things that you can do. The jack of all trades is you. Own your worth and the value you offer. Save some change for the coffer. Build and grow for yourself. You're not meant for the shelf. Let yourself shine and have trust. Faith is also a solid must. Keep heart through hard times. When you're stressed, write down some rhymes. Love who you are. Don't fit in their box. You stand out as much as Babe's Blue Ox. So, you are somebody who is meant to be standing out. You are somebody who has a very immense light to shine on this world. And you are a very kind, beautiful, amazing person who is really there for others in their time of need. And that's basically what I was just talking about in that last part, is do not allow yourself to dim that shine, because some people take that shine to be something more than what it is. Make sure that you tell people straight up that, and be honest with them about who you are and what you want, and let them know that this is just who you are. It doesn't mean that you are having more feelings for them if you feel like they're taking it that way. But do not allow yourself to go into a box where you have to hide everything you are because you're worried that people are going to be feeling that way, or you're worried about hurting other people, or you're worried about other people's opinions or thoughts about you and thinking that you're just a tease, or you're somebody that's just leading everybody on, or something along those lines. You may be extremely busy right now. Make sure to make time for you as well. Self-care is important now. It won't always be busy, and soon things will slow down again. Get some good sleep so you aren't so tired, stressed, or frustrated. Lavender, chamomile, or valerian root are good natural ways to help you with your sleep. So there could be a lot going on in your lives right now, and you may be really having to deal with a lot, having to balance a lot, having to take care of a lot, and you could be feeling a little bit of stress from that, or a little bit of fatigue from that, or frustration. And just know that life goes in cycles. There's times where there's a lot going on, and there's times where there's not a whole lot going on. In the times where there's a lot going on, make sure that you are taking care of yourself, especially good. Make sure that you're taking time out just for you. Have an hour of quiet time at least a week. Make sure that you are getting some extra rest. Make sure that you are taking some time for play in between. Make sure that you're playing in the middle of it. I mean, throw on some music while you're cleaning the house and dance as you're doing it. It makes cleaning the house so much better. I used to actually, when my kids were little, we used to sing, clean up, everybody everywhere, clean up, everybody do your share. And we would make it really fun. Everybody would work together and we'd get the job done. It would go quickly, it would go easily, and everybody would have a good time doing it. It didn't seem like it was a big, awful chore. It seemed like it was something fun that we were working together to accomplish. And those types of things will help you to be able to lighten the mood and help you to be able to feel like things are getting done. Make sure that you remember that it's one step at a time and that you can't do everything all at once as well. Stop looking elsewhere. Look within. What choices have you made that have led you here? No one else can be blamed for your choices. Take responsibility and grow some balls or boobs and take action. No more victimhood mentality. You know what's really funny about that coming out? First off, all week long, I swear the theme has been coming out of victimhood mentality and taking your power back. Somebody actually commented on one of my readings yesterday asking what this bullshit was because I was blaming the victim. No, I'm not blaming the victim. I am telling you what you can do to change the outcome next time when it comes to a situation, instead of living in this victimhood mentality where you think everybody else is to blame. The decisions you made got you here too. And so you have to take accountability for that. You have to look in the mirror and you have to realize that I'm the one who made these choices too. I could have chosen to walk away at any time. And if I would have chosen to walk away, then guess what? None of the rest of this crap would have ever happened anyway. And that's the whole part about taking your power back. And also the other reason I find that to be really funny that that came out is because there's been a couple times this week where I've actually talked to different people about how people always say grow some balls or get some bigger balls and stuff like that. Balls are the most sensitive, vulnerable thing on earth. I swear to God, they're like really, really sensitive, vulnerable, fragile. They get hurt so easily. Now a vagina, boy, you can pound the shit out of that and it will still be exactly the same way as it ever was. You really can't ruin one. You can't hurt it too badly anyway. And you can at times. I mean, it does get hurt at times, but it's a little less likely to get hurt than balls. So make sure that you are taking your responsibility. Make sure that you are taking the choices in your hand. Make sure that you are making the choices that are best for you. Say with all this busy crap that's going on and you're like, oh, I can't fit any time for fun in there. I can't fit an hour of quiet time in there a week. Well, then you are making that choice to make your life more stressful, to make your life more frustrated, to tell yourself that you don't have time for anything for you, which means you are telling yourself that you are not a priority. And that is the energy you are calling back to you from the universe as well. Somewhere under the rainbow. Let the colors show the way. Let them carry you today. Bright new views to behold as your journey does unfold. Stars shine bright to guide you now. Listen to hope and don't bow. Move forward with faith and trust. Upon you, greatness will be thrust. Trust your dreams will come true as long as you follow through. And so you also could be really trying and working so hard to create something in your life that you have been working on for a long time. Remember that the journey is not going to be done in a day, and little steps is what it's going to take. It's going to take little steps each day, and it's going to take doing a little bit each day, and then making sure that you're taking time for fun, play, rest, family, friends. Balancing all of those things out in your life is going to raise your energetic vibration, and it is going to cause you to do better work while you're doing work. It's going to cause you to get things done quicker, easier, more efficiently, more effectively. Whereas when you stop taking care of yourself and you work yourself into the ground and you don't give yourself a break, you don't let up on you, and you're constantly telling you that you can't stop and you can't do anything else, you can't have this rest because you have things to do, you start to get depressed, you start to procrastinate, you start to really drop down in the level of work that you're doing, and the efficiency, the quality of work that you are doing goes way down because you are not feeling good about yourself, and you are also not feeling good about the work that you got to do. You're not allowing yourself time to have fun, to play, to really enjoy life, and that saps away all of your joy, all of your happiness, all of your self-love goes right down the drain, along with your inability to take care of yourself and find time for yourself, because you decided that you are a last priority on the list. It wasn't anybody else that put you as that last priority on the list. You did. When you said, oh, because I have to take care of my whole family, I don't have time to go take a bath tonight. I don't have time to go on a walk. I don't have time to take a nap. Now, you are the one who made the choice to put you on the bottom of the list. And then you told everybody else, oh, because of you guys, I never have time for me and I can't do anything for me. That is called victimhood mentality. And when you come out of that victimhood mentality, then you go, oh, hey, yes, everybody else may be upset at me because I'm taking this time, because for so fucking long I was a doormat to them and I did everything for them without doing a damn thing for myself. And now everybody's upset because I want to have time for me. But that's okay, because I'm still going to have time for me, because I'm placing me as a priority now to show these other fuckers how to place me as a priority too. So yes, they are doing it as well, but you are the one who made the initial choice to make yourself that non-priority on the list. The lamb, the sea serpent, and the mouse. So not having to nitpick everything, not having to dissect everything, not having to control everything, really breaking this cycle of feeling like the whole world is going to burn down if you aren't there to take care of everything and everyone, because the whole world's going to be just fine if you're not there to take care of everyone and everything. Yes, you are important. Yes, you are valuable. Yes, the contributions you put in can never be replaced by anyone. But the whole world is not going to burn down if you decide to take a day off this week. If you decide to take a day off this week, actually, the whole world's going to be doing much better around you, because you're going to be feeling better. You're going to be acting better. You're going to be taking care of things better. You're going to be doing so much better. And you're going to be teaching everybody around you to be doing that for themselves as well, so they can be doing better in their own lives. You are really breaking these chains, breaking these cycles of control, breaking these cycles of the way that you're seeing things, facing fears and conquering them. And you're doing this by taking care of yourself, by resting, by meditation, by reflection, by prayer, by really taking the time to do the things that are beneficial for you and that really help you to heal, that help you to feel good in your daily life. You're giving your worries to a higher power, and you're releasing those things so that you can take the time for you without constantly having your mind split between yourself and what's going on with everyone else. You are blocking out all the crap with everyone else for a couple hours a week so that you can take care of yourself, so that you can handle everything with much better efficiency. And that is what's going to be helping you. I feel like this is things that people are collectively working on right now. Also, deciding that you're not in competition with anybody, that you are valuable, you are worthy, you are somebody who is worth placing as a priority. You're somebody very honest, very solid, very trustworthy, somebody who cares for everyone around you. And that care, that effort, that diligence, that patience and persistence and love and kindness that you put into the world around you really blooms and grows into beautiful, amazing things. And you don't have anybody to compete with. The only person you should be competing with is yourself, and doing better than you did yesterday. And even then, reminding yourself that it's okay where you were yesterday, because where you were yesterday is what brought you to today. I feel like you've been dealing with a lot of conflict, a lot of competition, maybe even somebody who wanted to place you in a position where you were in competition with other people, and you decided, fuck this shit, I'm out of here, because I am not somebody that's going to compete with anybody. I got my own shit going on. When you decide that you're done playing games, come find me. Till then, I'm over here. And that is just fine as well. Telling people that, ending situations or things that are not good for your health is really good for you. Ending this conflict, ending this drama, this jealousy, this competition, not paying attention to the gossip, just holding your head high and walking your walk, and realizing that you walking your walk is going to speak louder than any talk anybody could ever have to throw out there about you. You are really rising up from whatever betrayal, whatever ending, whatever hardship that you went through with more strength, wisdom, knowledge than you have ever had before. And you are acknowledging this, accepting these as good parts of the nasty things that you went through. Instead of going, oh, why did I have to go through all of these things? You're going, oh, I see now why I had to go through all of these things. Because without these things, I would not have realized these certain things. I would not have realized my own worth, my own value, and I would not have learned how to put my foot down and tell people what my worth and my value is. And if you don't like it and you can't accept it, then get out of my way, because I treat you like you have worth and value. I respect you. I honor you. I treat you with kindness and care and love. So I deserve to have that same treatment in return. And if you can't treat me that way, then bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, the song Juice by Lizzo is coming to mind right now. You know what? They think they're putting you in competition, but honestly, you're the one who has people competing for you. And you're not here to chase anybody. If somebody wants you to chase them, then they can chase their own tail around. Don't be starting to play that game. So, let's see what else we're talking about today. And if anybody wants to donate, you can find my Cash App and my PayPal in the description box below. I really do appreciate it. Or if you wanted to ask a question, that's where you can find those as well. Mommy and Daddy, I am having so much fun. It's like my dreams came true. Anything I want is possible here, and I am not afraid anymore. I miss you, though, and that's the only bad thing. I wish that I could hug you and have you sing me to sleep again. Please keep singing. I listen to you when you do. I miss your reading. I miss your reading too, and I hope that you know that I love you and could never forget you. We will be together again. I just know it. Care Bears. So there could be some people dealing with some distance between themselves and their children, and they just want you to know that they're having a lot of fun. They really feel like their dreams could come true. They feel like anything is possible. They're not afraid. They are really feeling good about things, about the situation. They miss you and they're upset that they can't be with you on a regular basis. They really wish that they could have you around again. Oh, the song that is coming to mind is Stressed Out. I wish I could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now I'm stressed out. Being told they need to wake up and make money. I feel like whoever these children are have realized that there may have been people in their life that have told them that they need to wake up and make money, but they're realizing now that their dreams can come true too. And money isn't the most important thing, that there are things that are more important than that. And I really feel like they are wanting you to know that they love you very much, they miss you very much, and that you will be together again. So if anybody is missing children, that is a specific message for you. Life cycles. As you navigate these halls, know your soul truly calls. You know these cycles, you've seen them repeat. As you break them, the chaos will retreat. This is your path, you know it well. Underneath this thinning veil lies your purpose in this life. Don't fall victim to the strife. Rise above, find your peace. You are close to a sweet release. So don't allow the negative things going on to cause you to feel like it's the end, to feel like nothing is going to be right again, to feel like everything is broken or everything is wrong and everything is falling apart, like there is nobody that loves you or anything along those lines that you might be feeling. It's time to break those cycles. And it is time to really feel confident, to feel good about yourself again, to know that you are a good parent, that you are somebody that people love in their life, and that you are somebody that people cherish, that people really do feel a very strong, close connection to. These people miss you, they love you, and they want you to know that even if you guys aren't in constant contact or aren't constantly talking to each other or around each other that they love you, they miss you, and that you are a big part of their life, even while you guys are separated. Separation is a 3D illusion. In the spiritual realm, there is no separation, and they are connected to you in the spiritual realm, in the 5D. It's time to give to you a little bit. Expecting all of your care to come from outside you is fairly codependent. Ever wonder why you end up in relationships that are codependent and toxic? Look in a mirror. You might be codependent yourself. Is it narcissism you see in your partners? Or is it yourself? Doing so much to care for everyone else and expecting another to care for every part of you. It can be seen as selfish or narcissistic, especially if your partner isn't one that you place on a priority list, but you expect them to do that for you. Although, I feel most here give far too much to a partner, resulting in too high of expectations. If you loved you, you wouldn't be looking for that external validation, and you would know what you expect from others, and so would they. Anything not up to par would fall away in knowing that there is something better for you. Instead of dreading that it will never come along, know that it will, because you are so valuable and loved. So, the entire reading today apparently is going to be a lot about breaking out of victimhood consciousness and stepping into your power, taking your power back, making the decisions and choices that are healthy for you to care for yourself, not only to care for yourself, but to show others how it's done so that they can start doing that themselves, and so that everything can repair itself from everybody finding their own self-love and starting to take care of themselves instead of expecting other people around them to do that for them. Protecting the beauty within you, shedding the old skin, and allowing yourself to see just how valuable you are, just how worthy of this care, this love, this time, this energy that you are. You are worthy of time, energy, care, and love, and it is not selfish to do those things for yourself. And some people have been taught that it is, but it is not. Hi, demolition lovers. Nice to see you. Yeah, this whole reading today apparently is definitely about breaking cycles of victimhood mentality and loving and taking care of yourself, not only for you, but to show everyone around you how to do the same things as well, because we've all dealt with a lot of people who have been in that same energy as well. Finding that stability in yourself, knowing that you have the wisdom inside of you to take actions in the ways that are good for you, being solid, stable, and strong in the path that you have chosen to take, being very passionate about this path, being passionate about taking care of you, and knowing that in taking care of you, you can take care of people around you much better as well. It's not that we're not going to be taking care of others anymore, but what it is we're going to be taking care of us too, so that we can take care of others better, and so that others can take care of themselves too, and they can take care of others much better. Teaching and learning as we go along. Victory and recognition coming in. Victory and recognition coming in for your ability to step back from situations, to look within yourself, for your ability to be on your own and be just fine with that, for your ability to be able to be alone with your thoughts and not be bombarded by constant overthinking, constant negativity, constant dread or fear or anxiety, that simply because you aren't there to do everything for everyone, everyone's just going to disappear and they aren't going to care about you anymore. You do have the right to take time for yourself, take energy for yourself, and do good things that are healthy for you. And at the end of the day, still have people around to love you. And it's okay for other people to do that as well. And you allow other people to do that much easier when you are doing that for yourself. 3333 was just on the clock as well. You are very protected in the path that you are choosing to take, and in the wisdom and knowledge that you are gaining through looking within yourself instead of in the outside world to see what the initial problem is. Really delving into the root of the problem, the core of the problem, the reason why you feel like everybody's just going to disappear if you aren't there to fulfill their every wish and desire. Why do you have to do everything for everyone in order for them to stick around? You don't. And in pulling your energy back and your time back and really taking care of yourself, you're starting to realize that people are still going to be there. That you didn't have to be breaking your back for everyone around you to gain their love, because you had their love anyway. And you had their love for more important reasons than just how much you could do for them. And some people you may not have, but those people were the ones that were toxic, not you. Victory and success in building proper foundations, in really keeping your thoughts right, keeping your mind right, being able to enjoy life, celebrate life, taking chances, taking risks, making changes in your life, and really being able to keep the stability throughout the entire process. You're going to be being recognized. You're going to be having success. You're going to be building proper foundations, and you're going to be feeling good in your mind, in your heart. You're going to be feeling good in what you have chosen to go after, because you chose to go after this because you were passionate about it, instead of going after it because other people wanted you to be doing it. You're going to be able to be expressing your love from now on without worrying about whether or not the whole world's going to crumble down around you if people don't return that love, or whether or not your entire world's going to crumble simply because other people didn't say it back, or didn't feel the same thing, or didn't react in the same way. You're going to be able to be on your own, and you're going to be feeling good. You're going to be feeling emotionally mature. You're going to be feeling emotionally intelligent. You're going to be feeling like you can understand others better, simply because you have taken the time to understand yourself better, to learn about yourself better, to grow emotionally, to grow mentally, to really mature yourself. And you're going to be getting recognition for your stability throughout hard times, for your ability to overcome anxiety, for your ability to overcome depression, for your ability to do this without the medicine behind it. Instead of sweeping it under the rug with some kind of pill, you are actually putting in the time, effort, energy, and work required to actually heal yourself. And you are going to be gaining a lot of recognition for the successes that you are creating in your life. You're going to be able to enjoy life again, and you're going to be enjoying life with people who actually have the same idea and goal in mind of what makes happiness as well. Thank you very much. I am so glad that you are enjoying this. You may even be calling in a very strong, stable, solid, committed offer to you from somebody who feels like the door is closing on their time to be able to make this offer. Somebody who may be reaching out to offer a date to you, possibly even propose to you. Somebody who wants to recognize the skills that you have and the things that you have done in their life that have made them feel good about themselves. And they also want to put this love out there, not because they're wanting the validation from you. They're finally ready to face their fears, and they're ready to put the love out there, regardless of whether or not they're going to get hurt in the end, because they want you to know, and they don't want to have to regret it the rest of their lives. And you are in the same energy, which is why you're calling this into you, is because you are in this energy now of where you are ready to put your love out there without fearing that the whole world is going to crumble down around you because the other person didn't feel the same. Instead, you are at this state where you are ready for a free love, where you are ready to tell people, hey, I love you. And if they don't feel the same, then you're like, okay, that's fine, because our friendship is far more important to me than whether or not you want to be in a romantic relationship with me. And you are calling people in who feel the same way and who are going to be behaving in this more mature and rational way, instead of feeling like they need to control the situation, instead of feeling like it's the end of the world, instead of feeling like they need to be possessive, or instead of feeling like they can't be your friend simply because you don't feel more for them, and vice versa. Affection, pitching in. I feel my love fully and I express it generously. There is no harm in saying I love you, and nothing bad has ever come from a hug. That's a matter of historical record. Go check on it if you'd like. In the meantime, I'll be waiting here with open arms. See where I'm going with this? I know where it's going with this. Because you know what? I used to hug everyone I ever came across. And you know, I don't with everyone anymore, but I do with a fair amount of people again. For a while, I didn't with a whole lot of people. And a lot of that was because I was worried that they were going to take it as being more than what it was, because I had dealt with so many people that got so upset at me because I wasn't feeling the same level of affection for them as they were with me. And I felt really bad about hurting them, and I felt like it was somehow my fault because I was just being myself. And no, it wasn't my fault for being myself. But now I'm a little more discerning in who's going to take it as being more and who isn't. And so I give the level I feel like is needed in each situation, while still being myself in the important ways, which includes expressing my love in certain ways and love languages. Pitching in. I volunteer my services and I pitch in on whatever chores need to be done around the house. I love pitching in because it means the chores are done faster, and that means I can get back to what I was doing before I pretended to love pitching in, even if I have a different idea of how often objects need to be dusted. So, you're really going to be pitching in, and everybody's going to be pitching in. It's not going to be you all alone doing everything anymore, because you have taken your power back and you have told people, hey, look, I'm not everybody's fucking maid here. I am not everybody's constant servant here. I am my own person, and I have shit going on in my life too. So everybody else around here is going to have to step it up, and you're going to have to do your part too, because your part is needed as much as my part is. And just because you have other things going on does not, that you're adding to the equation, does not mean that the other things I have going on that I'm adding to the equation are any less important. And I need time for those too. So guess what? Everybody else is going to have to jump up, and they're going to have to do their part too. And now, because you have set down those boundaries and you have told people exactly what you expect from them, and you have decided that you are not the servant, but you don't mind pitching in to help out and everybody doing it together, now everybody's going to be doing it together as a team. Where in the past, a lot of things could have been on you all by yourself, because you allowed it to be that way, because you felt like you had to do everything for everyone around you, or else people would not be there at the end of the day. And now you're done feeling like that. You're done caring whether or not those types of people are there anyway. You are ready to stop killing yourself to make everyone around you happy, and you are ready to step up into your power and to do the things that are healthy for you while still doing things that are healthy for the collective as a whole. Hi guys. I hope you're enjoying this reading today. And if you guys would like to donate, you can find my Cash App or PayPal in the description box below. If you'd like to ask a question, you can find those things in the same place, and it's $10 a question. And I really appreciate you guys being here today. Till then, let's see what else the universe has to say to us today as a collective, as a whole. Working together as a collective and as a whole. That is definitely something that is going to be very beneficial. It's time to point out and to expose the truths. You might think your truth will cause conflict, but there is already conflict present. So say what you need to say. You're welcome. And thank you for being here. And you know what? It's time to express and point out the truth. You might think it's going to start a conflict. There's already conflict here. And sometimes it takes a conflict in order to fix a problem. I actually told somebody that I knew was so deathly afraid of any kind of argument ever. And you know what? I can't super blame him, because he went through a lot of physical abuse in his childhood. And in his adulthood, a lot of the partners that he ran into were the same way. Yes, men can be physically abused by their partners too. And I've met quite a few of them who have been. So this person was just terrified of any conflict that came up, because they didn't want it turning into something more. And you know what? I told them that, hey, fights are okay. That's what happens. That's how you solve things. Sometimes there has to be a fight in order for things to get solved. If everybody's just walking on eggshells trying to make everybody happy around them, nothing ever gets done. Nothing ever changes. Sometimes there needs to be a conflict for a change to happen. Kind of like the 60s. The 60s was a gigantic conflict that a lot of people like to demonize these days. And you know what? I don't understand that, because if it wasn't for the 60s, a lot of fucking things that we enjoy these days would not be here, would not be present in our lives because of that conflict. Because of the conflict. Good things came. And that can happen in conflicts, as long as conflicts are not taken to an extreme. And when things start to get to an extreme, you walk away from the situation, you take time to think, you take time to calm down, and then you come back to it. You don't get upset because somebody wants to walk away, and you don't get upset and feel like you can't walk away. You gotta walk away sometimes, but at the same time, conflicts do need to happen. You have dealt with many callous and careless people. Take your power back. They are a distraction from your path and from your purpose. You feed them with your energy when your focus is on them, and your vibes are lowered because of them. So you can respond and address situations as they come up. And some people will tell you that responding to situations or addressing them is feeding that energy. No, not necessarily, because I respond to everybody who brings that energy my way, because I will not tuck tail and run away from it. I will say what I need to say in that situation. I have been quiet for too damn long in my life, and I'm not gonna be. But I also don't carry it with me anymore. I dropped that shit right then and there. You want to know why? Because I said what I needed to say. And I thought it through first, so I'm not overthinking it later. I said exactly what I wanted to say in that situation. And then I can walk away from it free and clear. And then if people want to continue it, then I will address that then. Finally, home to myself. There is no more shadow work to be done. Finally, this painful, hard-fought battle is won. I have overcome all the past pain. I feel it wash over like a cleansing rain. Arms stretched out to the Most High. Gratitude for my ability to fly. Proud of myself for not giving in. I have earned this victory. Worked hard for the win. We were talking about victory in the last message as well. So the emotional maturity that you have gained, the emotional stability that you have gained, the emotional intelligence that you have gained, you have worked damn hard for this. You have worked extremely hard to be able to do things the right way, to be able to get to the roots of the problems that you were having, to be able to address your anxiety, your depression, your codependency, whatever it is that you were addressing, instead of just taking pills or taking drugs or taking alcohol to drown it all out and numb it all away, bury it all under a rug. You have actually gone, oh, hey, this is an issue within myself. And this is an issue that has to do with things that have happened in the past. So let me go back. Let me look at everything that has happened in the past, not to get stuck on it, not to drown in it, not to get lost in it, but to take the time to pick it apart and to see what really went into making things the way that they are today, so that I can heal those things, so that I can address those things, so that I can take care of those things, so that I don't have to worry about whether or not I need some sort of outside external force to be able to keep me sane. Instead, I have actually looked inside myself to find my own sanity. And you have earned this win. You have earned this victory. You have worked damn hard for it. And yes, there is always going to be new things that you're learning, new things that you're going to have to heal, new things that you're going to have to go through. But you have healed all of the past things for the moment. For the moment, you're feeling good and you're feeling calm and peaceful, and you're going to be attracting in a lot of really good things into your life. But that doesn't mean that there isn't still going to be situations that are going to be up in the air, or shit that's going to happen that's going to cause you to go back into your heart or your pain or your hurt or your sadness. But you're also going to know more in the future of how to deal with those things, how to heal those things more effectively, how to really delve into what's going on, and how to keep yourself from losing your mind in the process. I had to lose you to love me is the song that's coming to mind. I don't know if that's actually the name of it, but that's the song that's coming to mind. Thank you very much, Rashima. You too. Thank you. The world is now child approved. I agree. It really does. I am the only one in my family who has chosen to take that route. Everybody else in my family is all on pharmaceuticals. My dad was an alcoholic and a drug addict, and he didn't talk about any of the pain or trauma that he went through until about 5 years before he died with me. I was the first person that he actually sat there and opened up and talked to about it. Well, he talked to my mom about it a little bit, but not to that extent. And way back in the day, he talked to my mom about it a little bit, but not to that extent. And he actually finally healed through all of that shit. He actually quit doing any kind of drugs. He quit drinking. He was actually doing really good when he passed away, because he had worked through a lot of the things that he was going through. Please take my lack of interest as a no. I have boundary issues and a hard time hurting others with rejection, as I know how that feels. Rejection is protection, but I still have a hard time seeing it that way from either side. Love is when both people feel it, and that's what we both really want. Find the strength to let me go. Someone who gives you the time and the interest that you are looking for and that you deserve. Don't get stuck on someone who doesn't see you that way. It hurts, I should know. I wish that I could be honest with you, but it hurts too much. I know that sounds selfish, but it is what it is. Maybe one day I will learn to speak my truth. Thank you. I appreciate that. And you're welcome, Rashima. So I would talk to you too. um, yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier as well. Being able to reject people without feeling that pain of rejecting them, without feeling like you're hurting them, without feeling like it's the worst thing in the world, so that you can actually be out there and be around people, so that you're not feeling like you have to hide yourself away because everybody is constantly wanting your attention or your time or whatever else, and you aren't necessarily wanting to give it in these situations. There's nothing wrong with saying that, because these people want people around them who want to be around them too, just like you want people around you that want to be around you. And so there's nothing wrong with that. And try to be more understanding of other people and the way that they're feeling, even when they can't express it. God, there was this one time this last year, this guy that I had this thing with for a little bit. Some woman came over to his house, and we weren't actually dating or anything, but some woman came over to his house, and he's like, "Oh, I don't feel the same way for her as she feels for me," and blah 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 blah. And so she gets there, and she's like cuddling all over him and all that kind of stuff, and he's not saying anything. He's not telling her that he doesn't want that. He's not telling her to leave. She ended up staying the night, and they ended up snuggling each other on the couch all night, and he was like trying to get away from her and all that kind of shit. And it's kind of like, how can she not see that? How can she not feel that? What the fuck? How are you not getting his vibes? Because holy shit, I can hear those. They're like the loudest vibes on the planet. But sometimes we don't see it when we're wanting what we're wanting. But you need to start seeing, noticing, and being okay with it when you feel those vibes from other people. Because sometimes those other people have a very hard time expressing that they are not feeling the same way, because they don't want to hurt you. They don't want to cause that pain. They don't want to cause that hardship. They don't want to feel like they are rejecting you the way that they've been rejected throughout their life. And they have a really hard time rejecting other people because of that, and because of the pain that they have felt. And I mean, at the same time, I told him the next day, I could see that from a million miles away. Why didn't she see that? Why wasn't she getting it? He's like, "Why didn't you say something?" And I was like, "You know what? I figured that was yours to say." Because you need to start saying things like that for yourself. I've had to learn over the last couple of years how to do that for me. It's time for you to learn how to do that for you. If you don't want somebody touching you, you fucking tell them you don't want them touching you. There is nothing wrong with telling them that you don't want them touching you. And yeah, it does upset them sometimes. I get that. Especially since I had to deal with a woman doing that last year. And you know what? It's even harder with a woman, because they have a lot of feelings. And you know, I've dealt with a lot of men who have a lot of feelings, but this woman had a lot of feelings, because most women generally have an immense amount of feelings. And it was even harder in that situation. And I didn't say anything till afterwards. And I decided that that won't be happening again. Whether it's a man or a woman coming this way, that won't be happening again. And that's what you need to decide in your life as well. Because that is what will call in higher, better energies, and people who actually you want to be with and they want to be with. And also, you won't be ruining your relationships by other people getting in between them because of you not being able to have the proper boundaries when it comes to people. You are here. If you are here, it's for a reason, a purpose much longer than just a season. Overcoming is a must. In faith, place your trust. Happiness blooms from the inside. All the pain you can abide. Strength is yours to harness well. If you believe, you can never fail. You're on your path. Listen now. Ask your heart, where and how. All the answers will come to you once you switch to a more peaceful view. 8/5/20. And if you guys are interested in my poems, you can find my link for Dee's story time in the description box below. You can find this poem over there, and I would really appreciate if you guys could check that out. So it's not a weakness to not say something in that moment, as long as we say it later. Well, you know what? It kind of is, but being able to see that weakness and be okay with it, and not beat yourself up over it, Because that's what I told him too, is, don't beat yourself up over it, but next time you know how to handle this situation now. And sometimes it takes going through that situation in order to be able to handle that situation in a different way the next time. When something doesn't work out right this time, next time we do something a little bit different and see how that works out. And then we do it a little different and see how that works out. But in order to be able to do that, we have to acknowledge where we might have made a misstep so that we can do that. And we can't hate ourselves for that misstep either. We have to accept that that misstep was something that could happen to anybody. Really, it could. And especially if they have been through the same things that you have been through in your life that caused the pain and hurt that you were feeling in that moment, that caused the triggering to happen. Then we explore what caused the triggering to happen and we work through those triggers. Honestly, it probably hurt that girl far more for me to say something afterwards than before. If I would have said something before, then she probably would have felt a lot better, honestly. And I probably would have felt a lot better, honestly. And at the same time, I feel good that I said something afterwards and that I tried to make it as painless as possible and let her know that I'm not gay. It really, really reminded me how straight I am. You may be feeling very drained at this time. Take a step back and really look at things. Who or what is bringing this feeling about? Are you taking enough time for self-care? Are you taking care of your energy, protection, cleansing, time for recharging? Spend some time on you and pull back your energy, and this will allow you to see what may be causing you to feel this drained feeling. And also, it will help you to make decisions based off of your own emotions instead of making decisions based off of somebody else's emotions. Logic is a good thing too. Combining emotion and logic is a very good thing. But at the same time, you should always include your heart in your decisions. Just like you should always include logic in your decisions, you should always include your heart in your decisions as well. But in order to include your heart in your decisions, if you're an empath, you have to take that space. You have to detach from the other person's energy. You have to clear your energy. You have to protect your energy so that you are not being bogged down by the emotions of others around you. And so that the emotions of others around you are not making your decisions for you because you're feeling pulled on by those energies around you, by the sadness, the pain, and the hurt, the fear of rejection that girl had last year. All of those things were right there, so clear as day, that it was really hard for me to tell her no in the moment. But I also made sure to tell her the next day. And I also had a few drinks beforehand too, which doesn't help any. Thank you very much for that. And you're welcome for the perspective. Getting out of the comfort zone is sometimes hard to do, especially if you have a hard time telling people no when it comes to your own personal boundaries or your body or your space or your time. It's really hard to get out there in the world because you're worried that everybody is going to be pulling you in different directions and you're going to be in situations that you aren't sure how to handle. That's the nice part about learning how to handle these situations, is you feel much more confident being around people and you feel much more like you can handle any situation that you come into, instead of feeling like you won't be sure of how to handle or how to respond, things like that. Being confident in that is really going to help you. Being confident in how okay it is to say no. It is okay. You have nothing to feel bad about. You did not cause this situation to come about. It's not your fault that they're feeling the ways that they're feeling, and it's not your fault that they're feeling upset if you turn them down. You may feel very alone right now. Remember that you are never alone. You may not have many people around you. Enjoy it because it won't last forever. Use this time for you. I love that just came out too, because you were talking about wanting to get out of your comfort zone. And know that you will be feeling good for when you don't have as much time for you. Get some things done that you haven't had time and energy for in the past. Get a massage, take an extra long hot shower or bath, or go for an extra walk. Do some art, watch a movie, or read a new book, things like that. All of those things are really good for you, and you don't always have the time for those things. So in the first part of the reading, we were talking about not having enough time for anything and making sure to still take care of yourself. This is talking about having extra time right now and what to do with yourself during that time so you're not feeling so lonely. So you're not feeling like you need the external people or the external stimulation, or so that you're not overthinking things or getting lost in a rabbit hole and things like that. The way that you don't do that is by being okay with just having some time and some space and going, hey, I don't always get this. This is nice. It's nice to have this extra time. What am I going to do with all this time? Ooh, I'm going to watch a new movie. Ooh, I'm going to read a good book. Ooh, hey, I have time to go on a walk today. I have time to take a nice, long, hot shower and I don't got anybody bothering me while I'm doing it. This is fucking great. Yeah. Other people's emotions can definitely be a trigger. That's why the energy protection is such a good thing. The best way that I find to do an energy protection ritual, my favorite one to do, is when I'm in the shower and I allow all the water to wash over me and down me. And I imagine all of that negative energy, all of anybody else's energies just washing down the drain, washing off my body and down the drain, and they're all gone, given back to the earth for healing and transmutation, to raise the vibrations of the collective. All of that is just gone, calling back all the pieces of myself, my soul, my energy, my love, peace, happiness, joy, contentment, and filling myself up with light inside of my mind and allowing it to consume me and overcome me, and feeling so peaceful and at ease, and allowing all my muscles to just relax and drain of any tension, of any burdens, of any stress. And I'm just here in the moment, enjoying life and feeling so good. And I like to protect that energy with like a crystal ball type of shield around it, and then little shards of mirror around the outside, so that any kind of energy coming my way goes directly back to people instead of getting all bogged down in me. We are not meant to be a sponge as an empath. We are meant to be somebody who can transmute that energy. We're not meant to carry the weight of the world, because if we carry the weight of the world, we can't help anybody. But if we take those things, there's been some people that have a hard time. They're like, oh, I don't want to tell you all the things that have gone on in my life because I don't want to hurt you with that or bring you down with that or weigh you down. It's not gonna. And it's not gonna, because you know what? I've heard way worse things than you could ever possibly tell me. I have heard some of the worst things imaginable that you can even think of from people, because I've been listening to these stories since I was 14 years old. And in order to keep myself sane, I can't take that all around with me. I listen to the stories, I help them in that moment, I wish for the best, and then I leave that situation behind and I move forward. There have been people that have came up to me over the last couple of years that have been like, oh, hey, I found you on Facebook or something, and I remember you from 10 years ago when you were in this place and you talked to me about the things I was going through, and that was such an important time for me. And I'm like, I am so sorry, I don't remember you. And some of them have gotten mad at me because I didn't remember them, because that was a very important day in their life. But for me, that was just another day, because everybody tells me those things. And I wasn't going to be dishonest with them simply because that would hurt. And at the same time, that honesty does sometimes hurt. And I'm like, it's not that, you weren't important to me or your story wasn't important or anything. That's just something that I go through on an all the time basis. And I don't carry it with me because I wouldn't be able to help anybody that way. So we got to learn how to put that baggage down, how to just let it go. There's been so many different situations. When I was younger, there was a girl that lived across the way from me, and her mom used to beat on her on a regular basis. She had a black eye one day, and I actually called DCFS, and I called the cops. Nobody did a damn thing because I was only 14 years old, and who the fuck's going to listen to a child, right? And I couldn't let that be something that I carried with me forever. I did what I could do in this situation. You do the best that you can do. And if other people are upset because you can't do more for them, then that's not your problem. That's something that they have going on within them that they are projecting onto you. 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, and 7 of Wands. We also have to be okay with being alone. Knowing that we have everything that we need inside of ourselves emotionally, so we don't need the people around us. If we feel like we need the people around us and we need that emotional reassurance or that emotional care or things like that, then we tend to do things that we wouldn't normally do to try to keep those people there. We also don't set our boundaries in a healthy position because we're feeling like we need that from the outside. Instead of feeling like we have that within ourselves already, we have the ability of being at peace inside of us all along. It's not selfishness to take care of ourselves emotionally. It's not selfishness to expect others to stand on their own 2 feet and take care of themselves emotionally as well. And to let them know that, hey, this time I can't be there because I have my own thing going on. And that is okay sometimes to have your own thing going on. And it's okay to reach out and ask for help too. And if other people are not going to be there the same way that you were there for them, ever, and I'm not saying one time, because it's okay if they're not going to be there one time too. But if they're never there for you the way that you are for them, then those people are not people that you keep in your close circle. Those are people that come to you for help when they need it and aren't there for you. So those are people that are kept at a distance. Those are not people that we can be emotionally attached to in that way. Learning how to set your boundaries freely, happily, without feeling like there's a care, with feeling like there's no care in the world, feeling like you can set your boundaries and it's okay. And this is what's best for me. And I'm going to do what's best for me. And knowing that in the long run, this is what's best for you. In order to have a kind, caring, solid, stable community of people behind you, you have to set your boundaries in a healthy way to show them how to treat you so that they treat you with respect and decency so that you can feel good and supported and taken care of, so that you are not supporting, taking care of, and making everybody else feel good without getting anything in return. Those boundaries is what does that, because people generally are opportunists and they're going to take what you allow them to take, and they don't know what they're doing is wrong unless you tell them. You have to tell people that, hey, this isn't okay, this is an unequal situation and I'm looking for more, and if you can't provide more, then I'm going to walk away. And being okay with walking away from those situations because you know that you are emotionally fulfilled in and of yourself and you don't need anything from the outside. Good. I am very glad that you have so much peace. It brings a very peaceful feeling, doesn't it, to protect your energy like that, to get rid of all those things that are pulling on it and weighing on it. Arm yourself with knowledge. Learn something so that you can stand your ground effectively. Know your worth, your power, and yourself. Stand up for what you believe in. Don't just follow the crowd. Make sure that you do your own research and make your own judgments. Don't let opposition scare you out of your own ideas and your own perceptions. So this is all about when you're talking with people too, and they start questioning what you're talking about. If you have researched the topics first, then you feel a lot more confident in it. You feel like you can stand and defend yourself. You feel like you can express yourself better. So anything that you take the time to learn more about, you feel like you can do with more confidence. This really helps you to feel like you are able to stand your ground better, that you are in the right. When it comes to, say, the emotional manipulation of others and the way that they treat you, it helps give you that edge to delve into emotional manipulation and research it and understand it better so that you can understand what's going on in certain situations, so you can back it up so that you don't feel like you are defending yourself and that other people are just able to call you crazy when you're thinking things that aren't real. You know it's real. And in knowing it's real, you don't need to prove it to anybody else because you know deep down inside yourself that it's real. And you're able to detach from this situation because, hey, I don't need that in my life. Kind of like the other day when I posted a thing about gaslighting and narcissism, where they will tell you, oh, hey, I love your dress, but did you really have to wear it with those shoes? That is a backhanded compliment. Where somebody gives you this compliment, they're like, oh, hey, you look so amazing. And then they're like, oh, but let me throw water on that compliment so you don't actually get a chance to feel good about yourself, because I wouldn't want you to feel good about yourself. I want to make sure I knock you down a peg. That is awful. It's awful. But when you know what those things are, you can pinpoint those things. You can say what you need to say about it, and then you can walk away because you don't need to deal with it and you don't need to put up with it. And it isn't pulling at your energy after that, because those people weren't able to manipulate you and gaslight you into thinking that you were the problem. Say somebody said that to you and then you go, oh, why did you have to say that like that? That wasn't okay. And they're like, what are you talking about? I just told you that your dress looks amazing. How could you be so awful as to not take that compliment and then to sit there and tell me that I'm being mean in some way? Instead, you can go, hey, that's called gaslighting right there. You just gave me a compliment and then you shot me in the foot right afterwards. That's not okay. And then they're like, they have nothing to say. Crickets chirping in the background. They really don't. Trust me, because I've done this. They don't have anything to say anymore because you called them on their bullshit. And now they have to face that mirror. That's why research is such a good thing, because it really helps you to be able to, stand your ground with efficiency, with confidence. Like coercion rape. What is coercion rape? If you tell somebody no 50 times and they keep pushing you and pushing you and pushing you and you give in because there's no way around it, really, that's still rape. Even if you changed your no to a yes because you already told them no 50 times, and if they would have listened to your no the first 50 fucking times, then you wouldn't have been having sex with them in the first place. And yes, I did have to explain that to somebody. And that actually happened about 3-4 years ago. Make time for self-love. Last quarter moon in Libra. First quarter moon in Sagittarius. Believe in your good luck. So believe in yourself. Believe in the abundance that you have coming to you. Believe in the good luck that is on your side as well. And know that just because you have good luck on your side does not mean that you're not a hard worker. There are some people that will try to tell you that you're not a hard worker simply because you have luck on your side. Nah, you have the luck on your side because it's good karma, because you have taken the hard way in situations instead of taking the easy way out. That's why you have the good luck on your side anyway, because of hard work. Make time for your self-love. Make time for your self-care, and try not to allow yourself to feel guilty for doing these things, or don't allow anybody else to make you feel guilty for doing these things, for taking time for you, for taking care of you. And remember that the people who are usually feeling that way are the people who are stuck in the cycle that you were stuck in too, where you weren't taking time for yourself or caring for yourself. They're in this martyr energy where they are doing everything for everybody else, and they think it's selfish to take care of themselves. And so they think you're selfish for taking care of yourself. And they want to make sure that you know it too, and that you feel bad about it, you feel guilty about it, you feel ashamed about it. But most of the people that are doing that are the people who are in that energy themselves, where they're running around doing everything for everybody instead of taking care of them. So don't hate them too much for it, but also know that you don't have to put up for it, and you don't have to keep it in your life. If people want to continue doing that, then you can walk away from them. That is your choice. And that's where we call back our power, and we are no longer in victimhood mentality. It is our choice to walk away from things like that. And if we are choosing not to, then we are choosing to be involved in it. That doesn't excuse them hurting you. But what it does say is that you didn't feel like you were valuable enough to pull yourself out of this situation where people were hurting you, which means you told this other person that you weren't valuable enough either. But when you pulled yourself out of it, you told this other person, I am worthy of respect. I am worthy of being treated right. And if you can't follow my boundaries or listen to what I have to say about it, then goodbye. That's what you told that person, is that you are worthy. You are valuable. You are to be respected. And if they can't respect you, they don't have a position in your life. So some will come back and they will respect you from now on, and others won't. And that's okay. It's okay if you lose those people. There's nothing wrong with losing people that did not feel like it was, or that felt like it was okay to treat you like dirt beneath their feet. And once again, if you guys wanted to ask a question, it is a $10 a question day today. Or if you wanted to donate, you can find my Cash App and PayPal both in the description box below. I am really enjoying the collective reading today, honestly. Take time to study and learn about things that you enjoy. The more that you dive in and explore, the more wisdom that you gain. Believe that you can achieve the things that you desire. Focus on yourself at this time and increasing your abilities. I love that every message that is coming out falls in alignment with the entire theme of the topic today, which is self-love, self-care, empowerment, leaving behind victimhood mentality, and just really being able to stand your ground and stand in your power and not feeling guilty for doing that. Focus on the things around you now and here. See the beauty in it all. Show gratitude and clear out anything that is unneeded. Blessings will soon be coming in. You just may not see the results of your work yet. Patience will pay off. You may be feeling that all eyes are on you, that you may not have done the right thing. Who is to say what the right thing is anyway? We are all doing the best that we can in the moment, and so is everybody that we deal with. Have compassion for yourself. Have compassion for others. Your intentions were pure, and your patience will pay off with a generous offer. This is taking me back to when the King of Cups came out with the Four of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles earlier as well. Your patience will pay off with a generous offer. You may have been tricked and left to walk away in shame, but there is someone who sees the real value. Open your heart to be able to receive. So it's time to really know your value and to not let somebody's rejection cause you to feel like your value is anything less. Your value is still there. Their rejection doesn't equate to how much your value is worth. And in fact, some rejections actually make you far more valuable because, yeah, didn't want that, right? But anyway, yeah, it's this situation of not allowing other people's rejection of you to be something that causes you so immense of pain. I can understand that, mine too. Yeah. Slow and steady is what wins the race in the long run, though. Steady, slow steps each day will increase and increase over time. I know that instant gratification isn't the way to go. That has been my entire family's way of going 90% of the time. Instant gratification instead of taking the time, energy, and effort to create something real and valuable and much more solid in the long run. So yes, I can totally understand the money manifestations going turtle slow. I get that. But it is coming in slowly, right? And it will slowly increase more and more. Ooh, Scorpio Moon, I think, is the one who does that money mantra. I'll have to share it when I'm done with this live reading. I'll share that so you can check that out. That's been helping a lot. There's also a song called Money is Coming to Me. Great song. More than enough to shop, more than enough to drop, more than enough to save, and plenty left over to give away. Great song. Anyway, I am worthy. Luck is coming to you now. Oh, hey, damn. I love that this just came out when I was just talking to you about that too. Luck is coming to you now. Abundance flows freely. How? Because you took your power back, no longer in a state of lack. You know your worth and value well, no longer encased inside a shell. You broke out and now you're free. This generational curse you'll no longer see. Nothing is in your way from here. You refused to give in to fear. So, you refuse to give in to fear. You refuse to be in a state of lack. You refuse to feel like what you were doing was not worthy of being paid for. You refuse to let anybody talk you into feel. There's been people who have actually tried to talk me into believing that I am evil because I charge for my services. Because since I'm just this healer and this light worker, that I should just give everything I am to the world for free with absolutely nothing in return. You know what? I got to eat too. I got to take care of me too. And greedy motherfuckers just take instead of giving back when you don't expect them to give something in return. So no, I am not evil. I am not selfish for asking for something in return for the value that I offer here today. I give a lot of it away for free. Yes, I do. Because you know what? I don't want somebody to not be able to get what they need because of money. But at the same time, I do expect to have a return coming in. And in expecting to have that return coming in, that's when that return starts coming in. When you start feeling valuable, worthy, like you matter, like you deserve. And when you start receiving and opening yourself to receiving, instead of just giving, you open yourself to blessings and abundance coming in and feeling like it is okay to accept those things. I've been working on that myself recently. The people who destroyed my RV, we got a new one and I'm staying in a trailer on their property. And you know what? They have done a fair amount of amazing things for me since I've been staying here, like making sure that I have the food because I'm not in town where I have access to the free food sources that I was getting. They have let me do a shit ton of loads of laundry. They have taken me back and forth to town when I need to get to town. care of something. They are also making sure that the RV is in complete working order before I leave here with it. And you know what? That is something that is hard to accept, but not at the same time, because I deserve that. And it doesn't matter where it's coming from, it's coming back to me because of the good things that I put out into the world. And also, I've also been helping his wife and his son through some of the things that they've been going through as well. And so I do deserve the things that I'm getting. You're welcome, and I am glad you are taking that initiative. Nobility and the drowned man. So yeah, you could definitely have dealt with somebody in the past who did not see your worth, did not see your value. And as you come up into this beautiful state of being, of abundance and good things blossoming all around you, they are realizing that you were the one who brought those good things into their life in a lot of ways. And they are going to be regretting this very much so. Some of them may even come back to apologize. Some of them may turn to alcohol and drown away all their worries, all their problems, all their cares. You are learning how to do things without the alcohol, without the prescriptions, without the drugs, without all of those things numbing you or covering things up or sweeping under the rug. You are learning how to deal with the depression, the anxiety, the codependency, all of those different things. You are learning how to take care of on your own, which is causing you to be in a very abundant state, a very blessed state, a very deserving state. And the people around you are definitely going to be regretting the way that they have treated you in the past, because you are the one who was worthy of having something real and solid and stable offered to you. Making the decision to face the fears and making the choice. Somebody is going to be making a choice to face their fears and to really learn from you, to be inspired from you, to do the same thing as what you are doing, to face their fears, to overcome them, and to make the choices that they feel like they want to make in their life. This is going to be a very shocking situation for somebody here, where somebody is making this choice to be, instead of being codependent, being interdependent, and really deciding on what is best for themselves, deciding to live and let live, and deciding to come in and express things. I feel like there's somebody who is going to be wanting to come in and express something. Somebody who has been holding back for a while is wanting to recognize you and your skill and your value and your effort, wanting to have a victory here. Indecision may be what's causing, or indecision may be being caused by fears. Your fears may be holding you back from taking the action that you want to take. And as you delve in and learn and understand what your fears are and why they're there, you will start to see the answers truthfully coming into your mind. You will be more easily able to listen to your intuition on what actions you need to take, on what will bring you victory, on what you should be holding back from, and what you should be giving to. Thank you very much, Muse. I really appreciate you being here as well. Thank you very much. The world is now is now child approved. Thank you. And you know what? People respect my boundaries now. They didn't in the past because I didn't have any. But as you set those boundaries and you stand firm in them and you tell people that I am not going to push these back over again, I am not going back to the way I was, people will respect you. It takes you demanding that respect a lot of times, though. Just like with other people and the way they treat me, you know what? If they want my respect, then they better treat me respectfully, because otherwise I can flip that switch too. And I can tell you exactly what I think about how you're treating me, and then I can walk the fuck away. And you know what? I have a very I am a very honest person who picks up on everything going on with a person. So when I say something because somebody just decided to stomp all over me, I say something that is very brutally truthful. And it is so truthful that they could not argue with it if they ever wanted to in 1,000 years, because they know it's true. And it hits to the very core and heart of somebody. Sometimes to the point that it just rips them to shreds. But those truths and those honesties is what people need to face to be able to change things in their lives sometimes. So I don't feel guilty about it, especially with the way that they treated me and why I was letting them know what I thought about the way they treated me, because that's all it was, is letting them know what I thought about the way they treated me. But fuck yeah, it hurts. I know it hurts, because holy shit, I've seen it. And hey, respect me, or I will make sure that you regret that day. Leaving behind all of the darkness, all the lower vibrations, all the gossip, the negativity, the drama, the chaos, all the bullshit, the lies, everything that has really weighed you down or made you feel like you were just stuck in this gray, awful, cold, hard, cruel world. You're no longer going to be feeling this way. You're going to be feeling like the entire world around you is so beautiful. It's glowing. It's on fire with optimism and hope and beauty and serenity and peace. And there's things growing around you everywhere. And you're leaving behind this smoke-filled, nasty, dark, despair-filled world for this bright, beautiful new view. And it's all in your own perspectives and how you saw things. That is what is changing for you. And you are moving away from the past and choosing to have a new beginning. You are taking your power back, leaving behind that victimhood mentality and choosing this new beginning for yourself, choosing to express yourself, choosing to learn about your emotions, choosing to grow emotionally, intellectually, choosing to understand yourself better, choosing to face yourself, choosing to look inside the mirror and see what is really going on within yourself. You're choosing to express your emotions when you feel like you need to express your emotions. You're choosing to speak the truth when you feel like you need to speak the truth. And you are choosing to leave behind any guilt or shame about putting people in their place when it is necessary. And I'm not saying anybody's place is below anybody else's, because I don't feel like anybody's below me. But I can put a person in their place just as well as the next person, and so can you. And that sometimes is what it takes to actually have those boundaries set up in a proper place and to have the respect from other people. Because sitting there and taking whatever anybody wants to throw at you does not earn you respect. People think you're weak when you do that. People think that you are somebody that they can get one over on. People think that you're naive. People think that you're vulnerable. And when you actually step up and you say what needs to be said when it needs to be said, people know that they can't fuck with you anymore. It doesn't mean that you're not a nice person, though. That's not what that means. It doesn't mean that you're rude or evil or horrible or awful. But that is a lot of times what holds people back and keeps people from doing that in their lives, is it makes them feel like they are a hurtful, awful, mean, cruel person. And you know what? My mom is a very honest person. She definitely says what she says what she says. And she has no qualms about saying it. And you know what? She can be very hurtful at times. I know, because I've dealt with her. So, yeah, that's why we feel like it's hurtful, because we've had those hurtful moments too. But it's okay sometimes to hurt people. I would much rather have a very painful, brutal, awful honesty any day of the week than I would a sugar-coated lie. So don't sugar-coatedly lie to everybody around you by allowing them to get away with things that you are not okay with, because that is a lie. If you're not okay with something, you say it, and people will respect you far more for it. I'm glad you are, because you know what? This is a healing session where I'm sending a lot of healing energy to everyone watching this session right now. And so that will help you with your shadow work during this session too. And guess what? Not one thing has happened to mess up this session today either. And I knew it wouldn't. Exactly. That equals how to close karmic cycles. Rebuilding foundations. Bloodshed, tears, ashes, rain. Been through so much hardship and pain, overcoming left and right. For far too long, no end in sight. World gone ashy and gray. But I live to fight another day. Slowly cleansing rain brings spring. Slowly I start to dance and sing. Colors start to light the way. A little girl giggles and play. Swift action now comes to bring together something none will ever sever. By the way, the reason that I got so distracted during that, I did not look at this card when I wrote this poem. But the fact that this card just came out a minute ago, and this is exactly what this poem describes, is fucking phenomenal, I feel like. You can find this poem on Dee's StoryTime in my description box below. You can find a link for that if you'd like to save it for later. It is much better to be genuine than nice, and you get much more respect for being genuine than nice. And it doesn't mean you have to be rude either. I strive not to be rude to people, and I try to say things in a very polite way. But if people are being impolite to me, I can be impolite too. I bring the energy that people are bringing to me. You get what you give, right? And there's nothing wrong with giving people back what they're giving to you. Why does it seem like my guides have forsaken me and have left me alone to bleed? Why do they allow people to continuously hurt me? Why does it seem like I'm alone? You aren't, even if it feels like that. Think back on the times when things could have been much worse, but they weren't. Ask for strength to make it through these trials. You do have to go through things. You have to go through things so you can learn, so you can grow, so you can understand. You know what? I asked to be able to be a better healer. And so the last couple of years, I went through a lot. I thought I had already been through a lot. Well, I went through a lot more because I had to learn a lot more to be able to be there for a greater number of people. It doesn't mean that my guides weren't there protecting me. It doesn't mean they weren't guiding me. What it means is I had to go through and face those things so I could see those things firsthand, so I can understand those things from those perspectives and those people's shoes, so that I could help guide those people through those situations when they came to face those situations themselves. There are reasons behind what we go through. And just because you are not saved from every single hurt or hardship or pain does not mean that they are not there to protect you. A good parent is not a helicopter parent. They're not somebody who's neglectful and doesn't give a shit either, but they're not a helicopter parent. How the fuck is a child ever supposed to learn how to stand on their own 2 feet and do anything in this world or face any situation alone if you're always hovering over the top of them, doing everything for them, making every decision for them, telling them how to respond to every situation? They're not going to learn a damn thing. How they learn is by being able to do those things on their own. Being able to pick themselves up after they fall down. Instead of expecting somebody else to come over and rush and pick them up and make sure they're okay, then they're just going to lay on the ground and cry until somebody comes along, instead of being able to pick themselves up and dust themselves off. Learning how to be alone can sometimes be a very hard thing. I really enjoy my alone time, though. I enjoy being able to do the things I love doing, being able to watch what I want to watch, being able to eat what I want to eat, being able to go on a walk if I want to go on a walk, being able to play with my dogs if I want to play with my dogs. There's a lot of things I love about being alone, but there's a lot of things I love about being around people too. And it's nice to have a good balance of the two, because everybody needs some time alone to themselves and everybody needs some time with people. And some people have a very hard time being alone, especially if you have a habit of falling into the rabbit hole of your thoughts and overthinking everything and getting stuck, feeling like nobody loves you or cares about you and things like that. It's hard to pull yourself up out of those things. If you start falling into that and you start overthinking things or start feeling like the whole world is just awful and horrible and like you're so alone, stop yourself and go, hey, I'm not alone. And you know what? Right now, I have some time to do something I want to do. What haven't I done in a while that I would really like to do? I haven't taken time out for drawing. I haven't taken time out to write something. I haven't taken time out to go on a walk or to take a shower. I haven't taken time out to just chill in the bathtub. I haven't taken time out to watch a new movie, to read a good book. And I don't have to have anybody else there to enjoy those things with me. I can enjoy those things even if nobody else is here with me. Balance, harmony, friendship, happiness, joy. 222 is definitely something about coming into alignment with yourself and with others and making peace in situations as well. You're welcome, sweetheart. Playfulness and joy finds you where once annoyance took hold. You are ready to open back up. Do it in a balanced way. You are going to be enjoying life, and all eyes will be on you as you do. Many options and doors will be opening up due to this energetic shift. So in the past, you might have been feeling like it was everybody else's fault for the things that they were doing, instead of feeling like your boundaries did have something to do with it, instead of feeling like your lack of honesty or authenticity and what you liked or didn't like or what you wanted to happen or didn't want to happen had something to do with it. You might have been feeling like the other party was completely to blame. And now you're starting to realize that some of it is on you too. And you're starting to balance that out. You're starting to find that peace, that harmony within yourself and within the partnerships and alliances around you. And you're really starting to be able to find your happiness again, find that joy again, starting to Not be so annoyed by life, not be so mired in darkness, resentful, bitter, angry, upset, hurt, in pain. Instead, you're really starting to feel like there is a lot of good things in life. Like, life actually does have some good. Oh, the song that's coming to mind. Oh, hold on. Give me just a second. Heaven by Kane Brown. That song is really coming to mind right now because you may have been feeling like this world was just the most awful, horrible, cruel place that there could ever be, and you didn't want to be here anymore. This is not your home, and I hate it here. And now you're starting to realize that this may not be your home, and you may want to go home one day, sure, but you can enjoy your time while you're here because there are so many good things about this place too. There are so many wonderful things, so many amazing things, but that's that whole perspective shift where in the past you were seeing all the nasty things about the world. Now you are starting to see all those beautiful things about the world instead, going back to this card. Instead of seeing everything in gray and darkness and awfulness and soot covered and nasty and gross and just horrible, you're starting to see the beauty, the love, the light, the peace, the enjoyment, the happiness, the wonderful things. And a lot of that is in this attitude of gratitude. Instead of being in an attitude of lack, you are now in this attitude of gratitude, feeling very good about the things that you have in your life, feeling like you are provided for, loved, looked after, instead of feeling like there is no one on your side, you're all alone, the world's miserable, it's awful, it's cruel, and there's nothing or no one who loves you. You're starting to see that as you love more about the world and about yourself and about life and about people, those things love you in return. What you put out, you get back. Balancing the light and shadow aspects of yourself, accepting both the earthly and the divine aspects of yourself, accepting that nobody is perfect and all of us are working hard to be better than we were yesterday, most of us anyway. You're really starting to enjoy things, enjoy life again. You're bringing your shadow side and your light side into alignment with each other. You are acknowledging both your masculine and your feminine side. You're realizing that those are just labels that the world places on us. Same love is coming to mind now too. And that guy is not gay, but that guy is very understanding of their position and understanding of how they feel, because all of us have felt at some point in time or another this pressure to be whatever our gender denotes that we are supposed to be, instead of just being our true selves, our authentic selves, and letting all the rest of that go. You're really starting to align yourself and ground yourself so that you can follow your intuition to your truest happiness. You're really starting to be in this very happy, beautiful, joyous energy and positive vibration, and it is spreading to everything around you. You are really ready for your dream come true, your wish come true. And you're going to have a lot of good, solid relationships coming into your life because of this energetic shift, because of your ability to speak the truth, be the truth, accept the truth, because of your ability to see behind other people as well. Because as you acknowledge yourself and you start to really learn the truth about you, you start to see the truth about others too. And you start to speak that truth, not just about yourself, but about them. Instead of feeling like it's rude to mention something, you are starting to mention it. That is another form of balancing things, alchemizing your south node in order to achieve your north node. I have a Pisces north node and a Virgo south node. Reflect on your priorities. What is most important to you? And have you been placing those things as a priority? For one thing, you are important to you now, where in the past you may not have been important to you. And if you're not, then you need to reflect on why you're not, and you need to start making you a priority. Up, up, up. That is the trajectory. You know what? People have gone up since the beginning of time. Everybody's like, oh, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. It's such an evil, awful, horrible place these days. And it's just burning down in fire and brimstone. And hell is on earth now. And this is the end of times and all that bullshit. You know what? Life has gone in an upward trajectory since the beginning. Since caveman came into existence, we have gone upwards. Emotionally, intellectually, consciousness-wise, it has all gone upwards. And it's going to continue to go upwards. The changes that are coming in are not bad changes. Although everybody always wants to think that change is bad. Change is not bad. That's why change has been so hard to accomplish over the last 50 years or so, is because people started living much longer than they used to. And in doing that, we have not allowed new to come in because the old way is still holding on. Just saying. I am grateful that some of the older people that we have around us are still around us and that they haven't died yet. And at the same time, death is for a reason as much as life is. And everybody's so afraid of death these days. That's one of the biggest things these days that isn't so great, is everybody's so afraid of death. Instead of just doing what's right, everybody's afraid of dying. Instead of living your life, you're going to hide in your house because of COVID. And guess what? What am I going to regret if I die because of COVID tomorrow? Not living my fucking life. What the hell did I hide in my house for anyway? So that I could die alone and miserable and not having done anything with my life anyway? What the hell was the point of even being here if you weren't going to do anything? Signed, sealed, and delivered is the song that just came to mind when you said stamped and sealed. Signed, sealed, delivered, baby, I'm yours. Both are very good things to pay attention to. Spiritual warfare and support are both good things to pay attention to as well. Feeling supported helps you to feel like the spiritual warfare cannot affect you in any way. Because guess what? It can't. Not if you don't allow it. Not if you decide to have more faith in the divine, the angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors, than you do in that person's weak-ass power that is nothing compared to those things. I love you. Oh, signed, sealed, delivered came out right before this. I love you. Why are you here watching this? What do you want? Is something missing? Do you not love me? My arms are open and waiting. Come home to me. I miss your smell, your touch, your laughter, your jokes, your eyes, and your smile. I may not have treated you right, but I know better now. Because you demanded your respect, and that's what's going to come to you now. Oh my God, I killed them. Why? I woke up with sweat pouring down my face, realizing that it was all just a dream. Thank God. I can't tell anyone about this. But what if it isn't just a dream next time? I'm so angry that they exposed me. And they feel like they are so much better than me. These are all projections of your anger, pain, and insecurity at the world seeing you for who you really are. Right now, it's subconscious anger, and trust me, you are hurting these same people in your real life, holding them back, keeping them stuck, and being pissed when they resist your control. So you could have been dealing with somebody who was very controlling, very possessive, somebody who was very angry and bitter, somebody that you could have outed on certain things, and they could have really projected a lot of their pain, insecurity, and anger at you because they were afraid of the world seeing them for who they really are, or vice versa. It could have even been you. And it was subconscious anger. But trust me, that subconscious anger is hurting people as much as you putting that anger out there does. And in putting that anger out there, you're being honest with yourself, you're being honest with others. And depending on how you handle that anger, it is actually much better to put it out there than it is to hold it inside yourself. It's much better. Money situation is going up. Which quote do you love? Somebody's going to be signing something. May even be court and money coming up. I can understand you feeling that vibrations. Thank you. And even if I don't believe in Jesus in the same way that Christians do, I believe that Jesus is somebody who is a very good leader and somebody who is somebody to bring inspiration, somebody that is an amazing person, but I also believe Gandhi is. I also believe Buddha is. I also believe there's a lot of people on this earth that I believe are amazing people who really bring a lot of good things into this world, and they're on the same level as Jesus. Thank you very much for that. You may find that you are overly sensitive at times to the views that others have of you. Feeling like you are somewhat unworthy of love is keeping you from seeing your true potential and the many options that are in front of you and doors opening all around you. It is time to let your inner fire burn and to cleanse, bringing a transformation. The sun always comes back out after a storm. It is time to acknowledge how far you have let yourself slip. Forgive yourself and accept that we are all human, and it happens now and then. Change what you feel like you need to be, what you feel like needs to be changed. So, if you have been feeling bitter, angry, resentful, like you want to hurt the people who have brought things to light that you wanted to stay hidden forever, it's time to allow yourself to be okay with those things being revealed and allow yourself to just let that go and release that pain and that hurt and the sadness, the loss, the resentment, the bitterness, the shame, the guilt. There is nothing to hate about your past. You wouldn't be who you are today if you didn't have your past. You should love your past because your past made you who you are. I love you, and I love your past because of it, because you would not be who you are right now, and you would not be here talking to me right now if it wasn't for everything that you have gone through that led you to now. I pray for you as well. So, that's all I want to delve into on that particular message. KLW, what does that mean? I haven't seen that abbreviation yet. Try not to become defensive over others' questioning of your skills and your abilities. Do not take it personally, especially if what you are good at or know a lot about is not mainstream topics. They might just be questioning because they don't understand. You can only teach about it if you detach from it. So, if you are constantly feeling defensive, like you have to defend your name, like you have to defend what you know, like you have to defend everything about yourself, and like you then research the topics that you're discussing, research them more fully to where you feel like you can answer any question that comes your way. And as long as people are just questioning and you're answering and they're not telling you that you're wrong or you're stupid or who would believe in such crazy things, then there is no reason to get upset about it. But I feel like there's a lot of people here who have been through that. And so in order to teach about certain things, you have to be able to detach from them. And you know what? Kind of like with deciding I'm not Christian in a very, 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 very Christian place. I have had to talk to 2 different people over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, that wanted to invite me to church. One of them was not so pushy about it. The other one was a little more pushy about it, but she just basically tried to equate that we believe in the same thing because I choose to have my church and my God through my heart and through love, and that's what my religion is. And technically, no, we do not believe in the same thing because you still believe in the Christian religion, and that's your religion. And that's okay. It's okay that we have different religions, but most Christians are led to believe that anybody who doesn't have the same religion as them is evil and is going to burn in hell. And so their duty is to make sure that they change them into that religion, or else that person's going to burn in hell, which technically makes a bunch of bullies running around trying to force their opinions, views, and beliefs on somebody, or telling them that they're evil and should be ashamed of themselves if they don't believe the same thing, which is gaslighting and narcissism. I have no problem with people believing in Jesus, as long as they don't have a problem with me believing that Jesus was an amazing man that I can learn a lot from and I love to embody a lot of the qualities of. But I also don't believe he was a perfect person that nobody could ever aspire to be like, or that he was the Son of God. Everyone was the sons and daughters of God. That's what it says in the Bible anyway. Everyone is the sons and daughters of God. None is above the other, right? We were all made in the image of the divine beings, because I don't believe in a male divine being either. I believe that every life on this planet has come from both a masculine and feminine, including plants. Even plants have to have a masculine and feminine portion to create the plants. So why would humans or this planet or all the universes be any different? They had to have been created by both, correct? I would think so, anyway. But the patriarchal view in society would like us to believe different. And that is a big part of that. The Christian religion pushes a big part of that and a big chunk of that. So I don't agree with it. Aligning yourself to your path, to your purpose, and being okay with the path that you have chosen. Being able to ground yourself and feel connected to the universe, feeling like you have everything you needed and everything will be provided for you on the journey you decide to take. That's actually what Jesus did, was Jesus went forward, telling people, teaching people, healing people, loving people, guiding people, and knowing that he would be provided for by his God in heaven. He knew that. He had faith in that. He had trust in that. That's what the root chakra is all about. Regardless of what religion you believe, every one of them has a different version of something similar to that. Aligning yourself to your passions, being able to express yourself sexually without shame or guilt, being able to enjoy sex without shame or guilt, being able to explore your options, being able to dive into what brings you passion, life, vitality, joy, happiness without feeling shame or guilt. Being able to be optimistic and open-minded and level-headed, being able to really enjoy life and have fun and be in touch with your inner child. Being able to love and give of that love freely, knowing that that love will come back to you, even if it's not from every source that you put it into, it's going to come back to you anyway. Being able to not only give, but being able to be open to receiving that love and that kindness and that care and not pushing it away when it comes your direction. Being able to speak your truth and express yourself without fears, shame, guilt, worries, without feeling like you have to defend yourself, without feeling like what you have to say is not important and valuable just because everybody else doesn't believe in it. A good leader knows that people are not necessarily going to go the direction that you're going, but you leave that there for them. You can't lead a horse to water, but you can show them where it's at, right? Or you can't force a horse to drink, but you can show them where the water's at, right? You can teach somebody how to fish, but you can't force them to fish. You can give them fish, but that's really not going to help them in the end. Really being able to trust in your intuition and know when it's spot on. Being able to listen to the messages, the signs, the synchronicities. Not feeling like you're crazy for hearing those things, believing those things, understanding those things just because other people can't and haven't made it to that level yet. Exactly. If somebody is judging your freedom of expression, they are triggered by you. So don't allow them to trigger you with their projections onto you. Someone's going to repeat what I have to say while upset because they feel trapped in religion. They want me to lose my confidence. Don't fall for it. They know who they are. You know what? I've dealt with a lot of those people. Trust me, I won't lose my confidence at this point. It doesn't happen anymore. I tell people to fuck off when I need to. And that includes Christian people. I tell them to fuck off on a regular basis. The consciousness raises as we raise ourselves and others up. As less and less people will look away in the face of injustice, as we go into this future, we remember that and we rejoice in it. We no longer, oh my God, I was just talking about this. I did not even know that this message came out because I randomly picked the messages for today's reading from a giant stack of messages that I have, like I always do. As we go into the future, we remember that and rejoice in it. We no longer believe that the world is getting worse and worse. It is bad and it is good. And it has always been this way because you cannot have one without the other. They cannot exist without the duality. But people do not have to be evil, or people don't have to be that evil. From the dawn of time, the trajectory has been going upwards. Slowly, we have gained more awareness, compassion, intelligence, emotional awareness. Think about how violent and evil the past truly was. Yes, there is still evil, but I feel like it has gone down a lot in many ways. How many people these days will just look away as a parent beats a child on the side of a street, or someone rapes someone, or even someone rapes a child or even an adult. At the same time, we must remember forgiveness is the biggest part of it all. Hope, faith, trust, love, all of that is replacing fear, shame, guilt, and pain. Those are the truth. And the past is an illusion. How many people these days are just going to turn away and look the other way as people are doing something evil in front of them? Not many people. Everybody, there are so many more people who are confident in their voice, confident that their opinion matters, confident that they can make a change if they step in and say something. That is not a thing that has always existed. People looked away. People didn't do the right thing. People turned their head. People allowed people to hurt people. People allowed people to molest children. People allowed people to rape women or men. People allowed people to beat on people. People allowed men to beat on their wife and treat them like they were their property. They were allowed to kill them if they decided that they didn't like whatever it was that they were doing that day. And that was perfectly fine and A-OK and backed up by the law 110%. And guess what? That is not a thing today. I am fucking glad for the world that we live in, and I am grateful for it. I'm not stuck wanting the past back. I am happy to be in the life that we were living right now, and to continue going forward in this upward trajectory, and believing in myself to make changes and a difference in this world, and believing in each one of you to be able to do the same. Jesus is one of many ascended masters. I completely agree. He gets along with all deities. That's how cool he is. Received in the spirit world. Christianity wanted to clout Jesus got, or wanted the clout that Jesus got, and then they oppressed their followers. I fucking completely agree with that statement. Yep. You're welcome. And good vibes only to you too. I do not have anything against you believing what you believe either. I just want to let it be known what I believe, because it's something I feel like is making a lot of changes in the world around me. And so I speak on it a lot. And anytime I get a chance to speak on it, I do. But I am not forcing anybody to forsake anything that they believe in. Whatever you believe in is fine with me. Rebirth, good luck, good health, creativity, feelings, fertility, independence, adaptability, instinctive. There may be a situation that you are facing that mirrors your emotions and subtle awareness to the influence and that mirrors your emotions and subtle awareness to influence you to move forward. Happiness, intelligence, strength, and endurance are gifts brought to you by the spirit animal on your journey. You are being shown a deep awareness of the unconsciousness or higher self. The fish asks you not to fight, to go with the flow, to allow yourself to be guided forward, but to also know when to take action and when the need arises to go against the flow. Kind of like salmon swimming upstream when it comes time to breed. Knowledge, wisdom, inspiration, and prophecy are symbols of fish in ancient Celtic traditions. Transformation is at your door, a chance to go deeper within yourself. Faith and trust in the abundance that comes from allowing instead of trying to control right now. Liberation from the confines of societal norms or mass consciousness. Remember that you are free to swim when and where you wish. You have immense determination, but remain flexible and adaptable sometimes. It is good to swim against the current. Know when it is necessary and when it is best to go with the flow. So, and another ascended master, Carl Jung, Einstein. I mean, those people to me are ascended masters as well. They taught the world things that needed to be heard and learned. Someone just got the trauma seeds they planted in someone back right now. They are cringing. Thank you for mentioning forgiveness, but I will laugh. Continue breaking those illusions so cross-watchers' reality of fake false security through oppression by any means necessary will no longer hold someone as triggered. Yeah. People get triggered a lot, but they get triggered so they can learn, so they can grow, so they can understand things in a new way. And you know what? I'm glad that I'm here to bring those glass-shattering moments to people. Someone is looking for a come-up. Don't let others take advantage of what you have to offer. Hobosexual. Someone who gets into relationships for the sole purpose of a place to stay. As Virgos generally think, trust, but verify. Usually fits Cancers pretty well, too. Check your sources. Ask questions. Don't allow them to pull the wool over your eyes. Remember as well, some like to cause problems where there are none. Check your sources too. A lot have said similar about me, but I am a demisexual as an empath. There is always love for all. Harmony is coming into place. I agree. Lighten up. Last quarter moon in Leo. So take the actions necessary in your life to bring yourself to this more childlike energy, this happy-go-lucky, joyful energy, instead of being so stuck in misery and so stuck in hardship and pain and hurt. See the life and the world around you as a beautiful thing and live your damn life instead of complaining about it all the time. 77778888. Fucking good luck, prosperity, joy, and abundance coming into people's lives for the hard work that they have put in. Take inspired action. Full moon in Virgo. So think things through, but do not get stuck in overthinking. Make sure that you act as well. Don't just sit there and think, but take action to back up the thoughts that you are having. Take inspired action. Take action towards what makes you happy, towards what makes you feel passionate, towards what makes you feel good. Live your life and enjoy your life, and don't worry what anybody else thinks about the decisions you decide to make. Just because you made decisions for you and somebody else doesn't agree with it, that doesn't mean that that same decision was good for them. A different decision might be good for them, and a different route may be their route. You know what? My route may be to bring harmony, peace, love, and light to all religions, and to bring people to this equal respect given to each religion, and to noticing that every one of them has good things in it, but they all have bad things in it too, because everything on this planet has that duality. Somebody else's path and purpose in life is to follow Christianity. Somebody else's path and purpose in life is to follow... Sorry, I had a very complete brain fart. Odinism. There's people around me that live in this community that actually believe in Odinism. And you know what? There's people whose path it is to expand people's minds to those thinkings too. And to uncovering those truths and those wisdoms from our ancestors, because our ancestors believed in things like that. Before we were all persecuted and forced into this religion, there is 1,400 religions on this planet right now. 500 of them are very highly followed. So Christian, yeah, is the biggest religion on this planet, but it's not the only one. And they're going to have to start learning how to be in peace with other people. There's a lot of people who are upset about Christians being beheaded in parts of this world right now. Well, Christians fucking murdered thousands upon hundreds of thousands of witches throughout their days. So they're not completely innocent either. Their hands are not clean either. They're not all good and purity either. They're not better than anybody else. They're not holier than thou. They're right there with everybody else on this planet Earth. That some of their religion is good and some of it is bad. Anything taken in an extreme is bad. Anything. Whether it's an extreme to the left side or the right side, it doesn't matter. A balance is what needs to be made. And an appreciation for all, and a love for all, and an acceptance and a tolerance for the different beliefs and ways that people choose to live their lives, instead of persecuting people and stringing them up because they don't all believe what we believe. The song, Are You Coming to the Tree? I can't remember, Hanging Tree, I think is the name of the song. That song is coming to mind right now. Are you coming to the tree where they strung up a man, they say, who murdered 3? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. I completely agree with you, World. I'm just going to call you World because that is so much easier. I completely agree with you. Yeah. And I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not allowing anybody to break into my peace anymore. My peace is my peace. And other people can fuck off. Anybody who doesn't like that can fuck off. So that is what I have for you guys today. And once again, if you guys wanted to donate for today's reading, I would absolutely appreciate that so much. My Cash App and PayPal are listed in the description box below. I really could use the extra, and I know the universe will provide it for me through the earth angels that come across my path. And I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you guys are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys.